It's a racy issue, a so-called skimpies empowering women to take control of their bodies, or a glorified barmaids allowing themselves to be objectified by men. The activist group Collective Shout wants to see an end to scantily clad barmaids in Western Australia, saying it leads to violence against women. But those behind the bar say women have a right to choose how they earn a living and how much flesh they bear. Sarah Tallier filed this report from Geraldton in WA's Midwest.
In Western Australia, particularly in country areas, stumbling across a topless barmaid serving beers is not an unusual sight, but it's one that Caitlin Roper from the not-for-profit group Collective Shout wants to see an end of.
The reality is this is an industry that is fuelled by male demand. It's one where women are objectified, reduced to objects for men's use and enjoyment, and there's no justification in my mind for an industry that is based on this.
The campaign against skimpy barmaids has gathered momentum after a tavern in Perth had an application for topless G-string entertainment knocked back by the Director of Liquor Licensing. Ms Roper says so-called sexploitation venues are reducing women to mere objects for men's use and enjoyment, and argues the practice can lead to violence against women. 41-year-old Natalie Baker runs one of the largest booking agencies for skimpy barmaids in Australia. She says the practice in no way objectifies workers and says Collective Shout is ignoring the views of women who choose these jobs.
We are women and we have the choice to do what we please. I feel that they're ignoring us. I feel that they think our voice doesn't matter. And so we're here stepping up to say we wish to continue and we are women, so please don't speak for us.
But Collective Shout's Ms Roper says she's spoken to former skimpy barmaids who found the experience demeaning and traumatic.
These women in this position, they're supposed to put forth this persona, like they love it and they're bubbly and they enjoy it, and that's part of the job. That's part of what the men are paying for, really.
Underground miner Daniel McCulloch frequents skimpy bars and says he's offended by the notion that men aren't able to appreciate skimpies as humans, not objects.
It's more of just an enjoyable conversation, a bit of banter. And that's it, there's no sort of looking at them as an object. You get the odd guy that probably will, the drunk idiot. But, if you've been around the industry or, seen them in action, the skimpies handle themselves and, and even the other guys, will tell them to pull his head in, because we're aware that, it's a human being. She's got a job to do. You just get to meet them on the human level.
Natalie Baker, who's worked in the industry for more than 2 decades, says her staff are incensed by Collective Shout's stance.
It makes them angry at these strangers who don't know us speaking for us or acting like we're doing something wrong to womankind, as if we're some kind of bimbos who are selling women out, pandering to men's desire to ogle our bodies, or that we're being exploited by somebody in this regard. There are male strippers too, and there's a rising demand for ladies' nights.
The CEO of the Australian Hotels Association in WA, Bradley Woods, says skimpy barmaids are here to stay.
So I think we're living in 2017. We're not living in the 1950s anymore, and people are not forced to work in that environment, particularly if they choose to cross borders and travel interstate just for that type of work.
That's Bradley Woods, the head of the WA branch of the Australian Hotels Association, ending Sarah Tallier's report.